Hello everyone, welcome to today's class. Today we're going to talk about the selection process, how you select your stock. So when we create our portfolio, as I told you before, the selection process is not the most important thing. The most important thing is the distribution, how many stock you have of each. But the selection process is not totally worthless. It has some value, and you should always optimize all the processes. So I'm gonna tell you a little bit about how you can think about that. So the first thing you need to decide is what market you're gonna choose. And there are no rules regarding what market, but you should, if you select, for example, American stock this time, you should choose another country the next time. You should always diversify as much as you can. But other than that, there's no pointers. So in our example, I will select America as the country, and more specifically the New York Stock Exchange, Dow Jones. But it could be any market, really. Then we come to the next part, what list. Each stock market is divided in different lists. They all often have names like large cap, mid cap, small cap, and other names as well, and that's based on the market capitalization. What that means is the company size in stock value. So the value of all the company's stock, and that's usually based on if it's worth $1 billion or more, then it's large cap. And if it's 150 million, then it's mid cap, and less than that is small cap. And the only rule I have regarding this is that always start with large cap when you do your first portfolio. And next portfolio you do, then you do mid cap and then small cap. Because we are not stock traders, we are stock investors. We want to make money long term. And we intend to keep our stock for as long as possible, at least 1 year. And one mistake that beginners often do is they sell stock and buy stock and sell stock and buy stock. And after a while, they have lost more money on the fees and the spread values than what they have gained in the returns. So we are not going to make that mistake. And we want long-time growth and low risk. So that's why we start with large cap. The bigger the market value, the less the risk it usually is, and also the less average returns there is. Okay, so I'm gonna choose large cap in this instance. Then we come to the question, how many stock? And by that I mean how many different stock. So how many different companies are we going to invest in? And as I mentioned before, the optimum value is 30 or more, but we need to be practical. It depends a little bit about how much money you have. Because if we have, for example, let's say $1,000 US, and the average stock value for one stock is, let's say, 150 for one stock on that market, which is usually is on the large cap American market. And let's say your calculation says that you should have 3% in that stock. As you can see, that it is impossible to divide this $1,000 so you get 3% if it costs this much. So depending on how much money you have, you might not reach the 30 limit. My guideline is if you are on the American market, you should have $200 per company. And any other market, 100 USD per company. So if you have $1,000 and you're gonna invest on the Stockholm Swedish market, for example, then you have 1,000 divided by 100 equals 10. So you should choose 10 different stock to invest in. Okay. In my investing in this round, I will invest around 8,000 USD on the American market, which means that 8,000 divided by 200, that is 40. So I could have 40 different stock, but I will select around 30 different stock. Because I want to have a little sway room. As long as you reach 30, then it doesn't matter that much if you have more than this. Then it matters more that the calculations are accurate. So I will use the New York Stock Exchange, large cap, and I will select around 30 different stock. So then we come to the selection process. How does that work? Well, the modern portfolio theory, which we are following in this course, doesn't say anything about the selection process. But I have my own selection process, which has worked very fine this far, and I'm going to teach you how to do it in the next episode, coming up next.